So I recently just celebrated my 40th birthday, and it's put me in a very reflective place. Like, usually people hit 40 and they have a midlife crisis and they go out and buy a Corvette or something. But I've really just been left with a sense of appreciation of where I'm at in my life and how much I still have ahead of me. And I actually wanted to take this opportunity to sit down and share 40 life lessons that I've had in my 40 years on this earth. And it's going to be grouped into different sets of lessons. So we're going to cover mindset, decision making, relationships, work and career, money, time, health, and then some true nuggets of wisdom. And I'll leave some time codes down below so you can skip around to the particular life lessons that you're looking for. So let's start with mindset. So, number one is everything compounds. Everything in your life is compounding: your health, your relationships, your skills, your money. Everything is building on what you did the day before. And it's hard to see it because the change seems so incremental, but everything is compounding over time. So the best time to do something was like 2 years ago, and the next best time is now. Don't wait, get started, go do the thing because everything is going to compound into the future. So, number two is to think in years and to act in days. So, a lot of times people don't have an overarching plan for what they're trying to accomplish in the next year, next 2 years, next 3 years. I highly recommend sitting down and putting pen to paper of what your long-term goals are for your relationship, for your spirituality, for your health, for your career, for your money. Sit down, put pen to paper, and think, where do I want to be 5 years from now? And then you need to work back and figure out what are all the subset things that you need to accomplish to get to that place. And then that's going to shape what you do on a day to day basis. You need to take action, get started, and act day to day towards those long term goals. Number three is to be fearless and take risks. So many people are worried about failing. But truthfully, the best thing that can ever happen to you is to fail quickly so you can learn from it and continue to grow. You're never going to be good at something the first time you try it. So you might as well get the bad out of the way quickly and just move on to getting better and better. That incremental progress is going to take time. Number four is to be a lifelong learner. So a lot of us, we get a certain set of skills, we fall into a certain career path, and we kind of settle in. We get comfortable in our particular niche. But you need to have like a genuine curiosity about the world, really appreciate where the edges of your expertise are, and try and improve on a day to day basis. And it's never been easier than it is right now. You can plug any question you want into AI, and it can give you all the information about that topic you could ever desire. Sure, it might hallucinate a little bit, but you're going to learn way more than it's going to hallucinate. Number five is if you think you can, you're right. And if you think you can't, you're also right. Your mindset on how you think you're going to perform doing something directly shapes the outcomes. If you don't think you're capable of doing something, then you're not going to get it done. But if you have an unwavering belief that it's going to turn out correctly and you're going to be successful, you might hit some hurdles, you might hit some roadblocks, but you're going to get there. Number six is happiness is a pursuit, it's not a destination. So, a long time in my life, I thought if I accomplished certain things that I would all of a sudden be happy. But that's not really how it works. Just because you get that promotion at work, or just because you hit that financial goal or that new PR on your squad, you're not all of a sudden going to become happy with your life. That pursuit of that thing is actually what's driving the joy in your life. Don't wait for the goal to try and experience happiness. Take joy in the day to day pursuit of what you want out of your life. Number seven is that you are a different person every 10 years. So a lot of people think they stay the same, but if you really think about it, how much you've changed from when you were in high school to now, you'll realize that you are a almost completely different person. And research has shown that about every 10 years, your interests are going to change, your mindset on things are going to change. And you changed more drastically when you were younger. So the change from you being 2 to 12 was very dramatic, and from 12 to 22 was very dramatic. So the changes will be smaller, but that doesn't mean they're going to be less significant. So wherever you are in life, just recognize you never stop changing, you never stop evolving. Embrace that process. And number eight is to have fun. Have fun. Don't take things so seriously. There's so much difficulty that you're going to face in your life, and you have to take it in stride and just enjoy life. Take those small moments, be playful, enjoy your life. So, now let's talk about decision making. So, number nine is measure twice, cut once. So, whenever you're going to go do something, do the prep work. Figure out the expertise that you need to get that thing done right. Figure out how it's gone wrong for other people, figure out how other people have been successful, figure out the quickest way to execute, how long it's going to take, and then the most important part, go do it. Don't get analysis paralysis. Don't measure 5 times and cut once. Measure twice, cut once. Go do the thing. Number 10 is everything has trade offs. So, a lot of times people think about the upsides of situations and they don't think about the downside of situations. They see the benefits, but they don't see or talk about the drawbacks. It's like maybe you think you want that promotion at work that's going to give you an extra $100,000 a year, but you don't realize that that promotion means now you have to work nights, weekends, you're constantly on call, you have more direct reports, you're more stressed. Nothing comes without a trade off. Every time you take time to do one thing, that means you're foregoing something else. Just recognize that you need to live a balanced life and make sure that whatever you're pursuing, that the trade-offs are things that you're willing to live with. Number 11 is that most things won't matter in 5 years. People get locked up in their decision making. They spin their wheels trying to figure out a course of action on things. And honestly, most decisions fall in the bucket of it's not going to matter in 5 years. And if that's the case, go with your gut, go with your intuition, make a decision, and move on. But if there's something that's going to matter 5 years from now, actually invest some time. Shift over from that type 1 thinking to that type 2 thinking. Do some research, dig in a little bit, and then make the decision. Don't be spontaneous with things that will actually matter in the long term. Number 12 is to never prejudge anything. So, when I got out of the Navy, I moved to Omaha, Nebraska.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And everyone in my life was telling me, It was a huge mistake. Have you ever been to Nebraska? Are you crazy? And honestly, I absolutely loved Nebraska. The convenience of Old Market and Heartland of America Park, and how friendly and open the people were. They had amazing ice cream, amazing baked goods. It was a simple life, and I absolutely loved it. I could have spent the rest of my life there and been perfectly content. But if I had listened to everyone else, I never would have experienced that place. I never would have gone. I never would have known that I actually really like Omaha, Nebraska. So you can't prejudge things. You actually have to form your own opinions and not listen to the noise when it comes to certain things in your life. Number 13 is no one cares. So many people get in their head that they can't do something because of how people are going to judge them, or other people are going to notice, or, I'm afraid to do this speaking engagement or this speech or presentation because there's going to be 20, 30 people there or 100 people there. And truthfully, no one cares. Everyone's so involved with what's going on in their own lives that they really don't mind if you make a little mistake here, a little mistake there. You're really just background noise in the overarching theme of their life. They're not too worried about the minutia of your presentations, of what you're doing with your car or your house or your clothes or your hair. No one cares. And then number 14 plays right into number 13. You can't make everyone happy. If you try and make everyone happy, then you are going to be unhappy. And it's it's easy to forget that a lot of people will try and impose their own belief systems, their own self doubt, their own failures onto you. And you can't let their projections of things that they struggle with dictate how you live your life. You're never going to make everyone happy. Not everyone's going to like you. And you're really not even on the right track until you have a few haters that you've picked up along the way. So let's talk about relationships. So number 15 is to cultivate your inner circle. Most people's opinions should not influence how you live your life, but you should have that inner circle of people whose opinions you actually value. Your very close friends, very close family members, your spouse. That inner circle of people you want to cultivate, because you become the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time around. And if someone is projecting negative energy in that inner circle, you need to reevaluate if you want them in your inner circle. And then number 16 is that the most important decision in your life is choosing your partner. And this is so underrated. If you have a supportive and nurturing and helpful spouse, that makes all the difference in the world to go out and accomplish your goals and be the person that you want to be. But if you have someone in your life who's trying to break you down, stealing your energy, constantly creating fires that you have to put out, you're not going to have the bandwidth and energy to actually go out into the world and do what you know you want to accomplish. Number 17 is the golden rule. So a lot of people think it is treating people the way you want to be treated. But truthfully, you need to treat people the way that they want to be treated. A good example of this is, imagine you're talking to a vegetarian and you invite them over for dinner and you give them a big steak. Maybe you would like a big steak, but clearly they don't. You need to treat people the way that they actually want to be treated. And this is going to cultivate empathy, and you're going to have a much bigger emotional intelligence, much better understanding of people. You'll have deeper and more meaningful relationships. You actually have to treat people the way they want to be treated. Number 18 is that everyone is fighting a secret battle. There is so much going on beneath the surface that you never know about in people's lives. When you interact with people for the first 10, 20, 30, even 100 interactions, you're just meeting their representative. They are struggling with something that they have told almost no one about. And this is everyone. Life is really hard. Life is hard, guys. And people struggle with things that you just have no idea they're going through. So show empathy, show kindness, reach out for help if you need it, and provide help if you can. Which goes into my next lesson, lesson 19. You can't pour from an empty cup. So I have a big heart and I like to help people. But I learned very early on that you can't pour from an empty cup. If you do not have the thing that you're trying to help the person with, you're going to be worse off. And this person will eventually be worse off because you can't continue to help them. So you have to have the thing that you're trying to help the person with. And you have to set boundaries so that the assistance that you're giving people is reasonable and you're not forming these unhealthy, codependent relationships. So let's move on to work and career. So, number 20 is that you are compensated for the level of risk that you take. So, not your skills, not the college degree, the amount of risk that you're willing to take on directly correlates to how much money you're going to make in your career. So, if you're willing to launch startup after startup after startup and fail 20 times, and then on the 21st time, sell that startup for millions and millions of dollars, you're going to be very successful. You took a lot of risk and you got a phenomenal result. No one's going to care about the 20 times that you failed. They're only going to talk about the one time that you got it right and you were successful. The same thing goes for your career field. If you're willing to take the risk of going through medical school or getting a law degree or getting a very specialized set of skills, you are going to be compensated for that risk that you are taking. Don't be afraid of it. It is part of the process. Number 21 is that you are not your job. Many people, most people, in fact, they changed career fields at some point in their working career. And you can't tie too much of your identity to your career because just like anything else in your life, it's only one chapter of it. Sometimes it's a very long chapter and you work at one job for 10, 15, 20 years. And sometimes it's a short chapter. You only work there 2 years, 3 years. And that's fine. Don't tie your identity to your work because you are more than just what you do for a living. Number 22 is to get deep domain expertise. So in this world with AI especially, shallow knowledge about a wide variety of things is not awarded. You actually need deep domain expertise. You need to be the expert in the thing. And you need to dig all the way down to amass that knowledge. You need a genuine curiosity about that thing, and you need to go deep. Because if AI can tell you what all the entry level jobs do and can do all the entry level jobs, the only way you're still going to have a role is if you have deep domain expertise or you know how to work the AI. Number 23 is that the best basketball player is number 23 himself LeBron James. All right, don't kill me.
Stop it. Get some help.
The real takeaway here is that your mind can change with new evidence. For the longest time, I thought Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player of all time. And after more evidence came in, my mind changed. Don't be so stuck in your ideas and your career path and what you think you're supposed to be doing that you don't explore the new evidence that gets presented in front of you. It's hard to argue that LeBron isn't the greatest of all time. My mind changed, and yours can too. Don't get stuck in your old pathways of thinking. Number 24 is network, network, network. So many people, if they get passed over for a job or passed over for some opportunity, they think that's some reflection on them and their skill set and their ability to do that job. But it's not. You could be completely qualified to do something at the highest levels, but if you are not as well networked as the person that they hired, you don't get the opportunity. That's not a reflection of your skill set. That's a reflection of your network. So you need to network, network, network. Reach out to people, form long lasting relationships, build that social capital. So when you need to leverage it for new opportunities, it's there for you to leverage. And number 25 is never put a price on your happiness. And I learned this lesson the hard way, the absolute hardest way, when I was in the Navy. They dangled a bonus in front of me for the last 2 years while I was in the Navy that would have almost nearly doubled my salary. And the whole time I said no. And it was because I knew I was not going to be happy. I had to go through some of the hardest times in my life to learn the lesson that I should never sell my happiness. So now let's talk about your money. Number 26 is don't just save, invest your money. So many people, they're afraid to put their money in the stock market or put it into real estate or put it into crypto or whatever. The most important thing you can do with your money is to invest your money. If you are doing all the work to save up that nest egg, save for that new house, save for retirement, then it's going to take twice as much work. But if your money is also working towards those goals, you're going to get there a lot faster. And eventually, that compounding goes absolutely crazy. And your money is doing way more work than you could have ever accomplished by just saving. But the only way you ever see that happen is by investing. Number 27 is that the best investments are boring. So I don't know how many times I've said it on this channel, but simple index fund investing, buying the S&P 500, buying the Nasdaq 100 is the best way to invest. You dollar cost average, which means you put a little bit of money in every single paycheck or every single week or once a month or whatever you can muster, where you are consistently contributing to your goals, and you have a simple, low-cost index fund that you're using as your investment vehicle. It's boring, it's simple, and it really, really works. I had to learn that the hard way after I tried so many get rich quick schemes and so many different avenues to make money that just the simple, boring thing is the most effective way. Number 28 is to automate everything. People only have so much cognitive bandwidth, and finances are one of those spots that creates a lot of anxiety for people. So you want to automate as much of that as possible. Automate your rent payments or your mortgage payments, automate your savings, automate your investing, automate as much as possible. Automate all that stuff so you clear up your plate to think about the bigger problems in your life. And the added benefit to that is if you automate it, you're not going to change it. So if you set in motion positive behaviors with that automation, with savings and investing, you're almost guaranteed to let that compound over time and keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. Number 29 is to cheat on your homework. So many people feel like they have to reach money goals from scratch, or they have to reach career goals from scratch, or health goals from scratch. You don't have to reach any goals from scratch. Someone has already achieved the results that you're looking for. Cheat on your homework. Steal the ideas, steal their systems, steal their processes, and implement them in your life. That whole process is called cloning. And some of the most successful people in the world clone those best practices from other successful people. And some of the best businesses are not new ideas. There were already existing businesses in that space, and they just took that existing business and then they did it, but they did it better. So let's talk about time. So number 30 is that time is your most valuable asset. So this one took me a long time to learn, but the most valuable thing that you could buy with your money is actually time. If you are willing to spend money on something, the first thing you should be willing to spend money on is things that are going to save you time. Outsource building that fence if you don't know how to build a fence. Outsource painting your house if you don't know how to paint your house. Outsource those tasks that you don't know how to do efficiently and quickly if you have the money available to do so, because it's going to be way more efficient and you could just spend your time in your domain of expertise, pay for that thing, and it all works out. So figure out what your hourly rate is from your job, then figure out what the hourly rate is for that task and do some math. And if it works out that you're better off just going to work, go to work and pay somebody to do that thing. And the reason I learned this lesson is when I was researching why do wealthy people buy private jets? And it's because they're trying to buy back their time. Bypassing the airport and all that time in the airport is very valuable to them. And they spend a lot of money trying to maximize the same 24 hours of the day that everyone else is getting. They'll get a private chef, they'll get a chauffeur, they'll get a private jet. They have assistants. They have an entire organization of people working towards their goal. So for every 24 hours in their life, hundreds and thousands of human man hours are being dedicated to their visions and their goals. Your time is by far your most valuable asset. Number 31 is to discover your golden hour. So every person has a particular time of the day that they're the most productive. Maybe you're a morning person and those first 3 hours of the day are your most productive. Maybe you're a night person and those late night owl hours are your most productive times of the day. Figure out where your golden hours are and put the highest difficulty task in that golden hour. Whatever the big thing is for the day that you're trying to accomplish, try and put it into the time frame where you are the best version of yourself. Number 32 is life is quick, man. So I can still remember being, 17, 18 in college, hanging out, playing Halo 2, eating pizza that I shouldn't be eating and dumping a bunch of garlic sauce on it. And now that I'm 40, I see how quickly life progresses. Enjoy those little moments. Enjoy your time here because life goes quick. You blink and then you're 40, you're 50, you're 60. So take that time, put your phone down, stop doom scrolling social media, and go enjoy your life. So now let's talk about health. So number 33 is to eat real food, man. Eat real food. Stop getting McDonald's, stop getting Taco Hell. Go eat real food. So 95% of people over the age of 60 have one chronic disease. And 78% of people over the age of 60 have two or more chronic diseases. And it's because of that compounding of eating bad food. Learn how to cook, compound those skills, and eat real food. Your body will thank you. You'll be much happier, a lot healthier. You have more energy. And once you start eating in a healthy way, you actually notice when you eat bad food. Like you'll feel bloated and lethargic and terrible, honestly. Eat real food, your body will thank you. Number 34 is to work out. So a lot of people think you're working out to improve your lifespan and live longer, but that's not really what it's all about. That's all done with your fork. That's all eating habits. The reason you work out is to improve the quality of your life, the health span. Having that functional energy and strength to get through your day to day activities without worrying about injuring yourself, without worrying about being lethargic or tired. Working out means that the best version of yourself is available for longer portions of your life. You're stronger, you're happier, you're healthier. And the goal is to be as healthy as long as possible. Number 35 is that sleep is a superpower. So this burnout work culture, 996, where you're working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week for forever and ever, or, sleep is for the weak. That's all nonsense. Every living creature on earth sleeps. And there's a reason because it helps repair the body, it helps repair the mind, it helps you process the events of your life. When people say they need to sleep on it, this is a real thing. Your brain is processing through what you've done in the day and is trying to come up with new pathways and new solutions for those things. Get a full night of sleep. It is a superpower. Your body will thank you. Your mind will thank you. Number 36 is to pick your hard. So going to the gym is hard. Eating healthy is hard. Going and getting that graduate degree is hard. Learning a new skill is hard. All these things are hard. But the opposite is hard too. Having no money, having chronic diseases. You are really just picking what the hard thing is in your life. You can either invest in the hard things that are going to make your life better, or the hard life things are going to be forced upon you. So pick your hard. Do the hard thing and don't let the hard thing happen to you. So now we're into the closing wisdom. So number 37 is to protect your peace and say no. So a lot of times, like you'll have people in your life that you might have to take out of your life. They are chaotic people. They're always bringing some drama. And you don't need them. You don't need them in your life. You don't need to say yes to their random chaotic thing. Just say no, man. Just say no and protect your peace. The older you get, the more you realize it's okay to say no, and it's okay to say no to protect your peace.
No. Remember your pressure points.
Do I exercise?
Holla at your boy.
Woosah.
21,000.
Number 38 is to be your authentic self, man. Be your quirky, weird, individual self, because there's only one of you. And you want to be the type person that impresses the future version of yourself. Future you wants to look back on what you accomplished and be impressed. Don't worry about trying to impress other people. Try and impress yourself. Be you and be unapologetically yourself. Number 39 is that comparison is the thief of joy. So many people, especially in this social media age that we live in, they are comparing the highlights of someone else's life to their everyday life. You're seeing them go on vacation to Paris. You're seeing them with their six-pack that they had like 6 years ago. You're seeing them with their kid or their Ferrari that they rented. All that stuff is a manufactured reality. Don't compare yourself to the highlights of someone else's life. You need to run your own race, live your own journey, and be content and happy with what you have. And number 40 is that the road to excellence is lonely. So if you want that 1% outcome, that 0.0001% outcome where you're a millionaire or a decamillionaire or a billionaire, there's not a lot of people doing that. You're going to look around and there's not going to be a lot of people that you can draw inspiration from. And if you're going down a path and you don't really see anyone else treading down that path, you're probably going the right way, because not a lot of people are willing to make the sacrifices, dig in, and do the hard work. That journey of the life that you want, it's going to be lonely, man, because most people aren't willing to do the work. You need to be the type person who's willing to get 1% better every day, do the hard work, and become the best version of yourself. And if today's video gave you some insight on things that you can work on in your life, and my 40 life lessons resonated with you, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'd love to hear in the comments below which one of my life lessons actually resonated the most with you and brought forth a story or a memory of something in your own life. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.
Stay in the market, keep your vision on the prize, building up the wealth right in front of your eyes. Talk Higgins, yeah, we keep it moving. Talk Higgins, watch the wealth improving. Markets and the money, making sense of the math, helping you navigate the financial path. Talk Higgins, subscribe for the vision. Stay smart, stay invested. We out.